Hey everyone, it is Saturday, June 9th, just after 11 a.m. I'm currently bushwhacking in Seven Devils, North Carolina, along Hanging Rock Ridge to the prominent rocky summit of Hanging Rock. I'm here with my friend Jonathan today, and we actually attempted this peak a couple months ago on March 31st. We did it after bagging the peak in the Amphibolite Mountains, and this was kind of an afterthought, and I figured I found a quicker, easier way to summit this peak from Dutch Creek Road, and I thought the road would connect to this boundary ridgeline manway, and it turned out it was a lot steeper and longer than I thought, and so we turned around before we reached the summit. So we're reverting back to Tom Layton's Peak Bagger report on how to get here. Tom Layton is super reliable. You can always trust his reports on Peak Bagger for basically any summit in the Southeast. So we started at the water tower at the top of Seven Devils, a small ski community above North Carolina Highway 105, which is directly across the Watauga River gorge from Grandfather Mountain, and that was just above 4,300 feet. I think we're around 4,700 feet, and Hanging Rock is either 5217 or 5220 depending on the source. So it's not a super tall peak. It is a ranked 5,000 footer, but it is a very prominent craggy summit that you can see from almost any direction. I always point it out in my videos. It's very pointy. And the summit is supposed to be completely bare rock with spectacular 360-degree views. And I'm very much looking forward to getting to the top. That'll be my next stop, I think. The first part of the hike, around 0.3 miles, was a steep bushwhack over two knobs above the water tower. And from there, we picked up the boundary trail that comes up from Dutch Creek Road. And below the ridge line, it actually is a forest road, but now it's just a very rough manway that is not much better than bushwhacking, but this section's fine. But the quality of this trail can go in and out. It's been overgrown in sections. Hanging Rock, the summit itself, is on private land. It's either owned by the Four Diamond or Diamond Valley Resort, but they actually have a hiking trail to the top, and they're fine with hikers who can make it there. The part we're in, the east and north side of Hanging Rock, has been purchased by the Southern Appalachian Highlands Conservancy and transferred to the state, and it is now the Bear Paw State Natural Area, which is managed by the Grandfather State Park Rangers. There are no official trails here yet, but maybe in the future it'll be open. Really nice rhododendrons still blooming. The bushwhack was a little bit harder and longer than we expected. We lost the boundary trail quite a few times. There were a lot of steep drop-offs that we had to navigate, but we finally made it up here in about an hour and 10 minutes, and it was worth it completely. This is an incredible summit. So let me show you around Hanging Rock and its amazing bare summit, around 5,220 feet of elevation. I believe this is considered part of the Blue Ridge Escarpment. It could also be in the Amphibolite Mountains. I'm not sure. The tallest peak in the Blue Ridge Escarpment is Grandfather Mountain, straight ahead across from the Watauga River headwaters. This rounded peak is Callaway, the highest on the mountain. And then this notch is Attic Window on the left. and McRae on the right. And then it drops steeply to the flat summit of Linville Peak, where the swinging bridge is. Behind it, on the right, the antenna is on top of Grandmother Mountain, and behind that are the peaks of Linville Gorge. Directly in front of me, this is a continuation of Hanging Rock Ridge, I believe, and Four Diamond Ridge on the left, and this is the summit of Peak Mountain, which will eventually be publicly accessible with trails. It's an interesting little area because on the other side is Linville Gap, which divides the headwaters of Linville River, Watauga River, and the Elk River. In the distance here, I'm seeing this really sharp drop on a peak that I can't identify, and I'm definitely going to find that out when I get home because it looks like an amazing view. Directly across the headwaters of the Elk River is the easily identifiable monstrosity of the Sugar Mountain condominiums. And the tall point, the high point of Sugar Mountain, is up on the right. In the distance there, you can't really see them, but it's the Black Mountains. Then in this area, these are the Unica Mountains with the tallest, the Roan Highlands. I believe on the left, this is probably Big Bald, Hawk Mountain, and Little Yellow Mountain, which might be our destination later in the afternoon. We're not sure yet. To the west, slightly north, is the massive Beech Mountain, which is probably the best ski area in North Carolina, has a resort community on top, and a very old Wizards of Oz themed amusement park, which is currently closed. Then to the north, across the Watauga River Valley, are the Amphibolite Mountains. The largest is Rich Mountain Bald and Snake Mountain on the left, and Elk Knob on the right. And Boone is somewhere down there. Blowing Rock is somewhere down here. I can hear the roar of the motorcycles on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Can't see them, thankfully. And then these are the endless folds of the front range of the Blue Ridge Mountains and eventually the Brushy Mountains. That's it for the hike back at the water tower. Took around 2 hours and 40 minutes total, with probably a 30-minute break at the summit. I think it was about an hour and 10, hour and 15 to get up, around 40 to 45 minutes to get down. I would say that's a pretty tough 1 mile bushwhack from this parking area. One of the tougher ones I've done in a while, especially for the 5,000 and 6,000 footers I've been doing in the past couple years, but it's definitely worth it. Hanging Rock is one of the best summits I've visited in quite a long while. So that's it for this particular hike. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and we might do something else. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys next time.